If you'd asked me a year ago whether I believed in making meaningful connections online, I would have laughed. Social media felt noisy, dating apps felt shallow, and group chats rarely lasted more than a few weeks. But then I joined a small online book forum one rainy evening in Seattle. It was a cozy little corner of the internet where people recommended novels, shared reviews, and argued, politely, about which author was overrated. That's where I met Ethan. It started with a thread about mystery novels. I had posted a long, overly detailed rant about why The Silent Lake was brilliant but flawed in its final act. A few hours later, someone responded. Finally. Someone else who noticed the foreshadowing in Chapter 5. Everyone thought I was overanalyzing. I laughed at my screen. His username was Northwest Reader. Glad I'm not the only one, I typed back. And just like that, a friendship began. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and I kept running into each other in different threads. We'd banter about books, tease each other over our preferences. He loved historical fiction. I couldn't stand it, and sometimes veered into life updates. He lived in Seattle too, just a few neighborhoods away. He worked in software, but had a passion for photography. I told him about my job as a marketing coordinator and my dream of writing full-time. Before long, we moved from the forum to private messages and then to regular emails. There was something refreshing about our conversations. No pressure, no pretenses. Just genuine curiosity. One night, after laughing over a ridiculous debate about whether ebooks or physical books were superior, Ethan wrote, "You know, we should probably meet in real life one day. Just to prove we're not bots." My heart skipped. I wasn't opposed to meeting, but I was cautious. "Maybe," I replied. "But it has to be in a safe, public place. Stranger danger and all that." He responded with a laughing emoji. Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. After weeks of chatting, I finally said yes. We agreed to meet on a Saturday evening at a quirky little cafe downtown called the Copper Spoon. It was known for two things: its live acoustic music and its walls lined with bookshelves. The day of the meeting, I was nervous. My best friend Emma gave me a pep talk. "You've talked to him for months," she said. "If he were weird, you'd know by now. Just relax." I nodded, though my hands trembled as I tied my hair into a loose bun. When I walked into the cafe, the scent of roasted coffee beans and cinnamon hit me. I scanned the room, looking for someone who matched the profile picture Ethan had finally sent. Dark hair, glasses, kind smile. And there he was, sitting at a corner table with a paperback in one hand and a cup of tea in the other. He looked up, spotted me, and stood immediately. "Olivia?" His smile was even warmer in person. "Ethan," I said, exhaling a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. We shook hands awkwardly, then laughed at ourselves. "Sorry," he said. "I wasn't sure if we were supposed to hug or..." "Handshake works," I grinned. We ordered drinks, a chai latte for me, an espresso for him, and settled into conversation. To my surprise, it wasn't awkward at all. In fact, it felt easy. We talked about books, of course, but also about growing up in Seattle, our favorite childhood cartoons, and how both of us once tried, and failed, to learn guitar. Halfway through, a guitarist began playing soft acoustic music near the stage. Without missing a beat, Ethan leaned in and said, "I swear he's playing the soundtrack to our conversations." I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my drink. That was the first surprise. Ethan was even funnier in person. Just as we were finishing our drinks, Ethan checked his watch. "It's only 8. Want to do something spontaneous?" I raised an eyebrow. "Like what?" He grinned mischievously. "There's a night market 2 blocks from here. Food stalls, street performers, the works. I was planning to go tomorrow, but why not now?" Normally, I was the type to plan everything in advance. But something about the sparkle in his eyes made me say yes. We walked together through the chilly evening air, neon lights reflecting off wet pavement. The night market buzzed with energy, sizzling food, laughter, music spilling from every corner. We sampled dumplings from a food truck, tried bizarre sodas in flavors like lychee lime, and watched a magician perform tricks that left us both baffled. At one point, we stumbled upon a booth selling handmade journals. Ethan picked one up, flipped through the blank pages, and handed it to me. "For your stories," he said simply. I stared at him, surprised. "You remembered." "Of course," he said with a shrug. "Writers need good notebooks." It was such a small gesture, but it made my chest warm. The final surprise of the night came when we spotted a small Ferris wheel glowing at the edge of the market. "Want to?" Ethan asked. I hesitated. Heights weren't exactly my favorite, but something about the evening made me braver than usual.
"Sure."
As the Ferris wheel lifted us higher, the city unfolded below, glittering lights, bustling streets, the dark shimmer of Puget Sound in the distance. "This is amazing," I whispered. Ethan glanced at me, his expression soft. "I'm glad we did this." For a moment there was silence. Just the creak of the Ferris wheel and the hum of the city. And I realized I wasn't nervous anymore. I was happy. When the night finally ended, Ethan walked me to my car. "Thanks for trusting me enough to meet," he said. "Thanks for making it worth it," I replied honestly.
He grinned.
"So, can we do this again sometime?" I nodded without hesitation. Definitely. Looking back, that night wasn't just amazing because of the market or the Ferris wheel. It was amazing because it reminded me that sometimes taking a chance leads to unexpected joy. I had braced myself for disappointment or awkwardness, or worse. Instead, I found laughter, kindness, and the possibility of something more. Ethan and I kept meeting after that, always in simple, genuine ways. Whether it turned into a lifelong romance or just a lasting friendship, I knew one thing for sure. I'd never forget the night I finally stepped out of my comfort zone and was surprised in the best possible way.